Using conditions is very typical in programming. We have learned how to use if, elif and the logical operators. But in many cases, we come across a situation where we have to take decision only when some other conditions are satisfied. Like, you are eligible for a discount if you are a member of a specific club. In such scenarios, the program first needs to check whether you are a member or not. If yes, then only it will apply a different conditional discount. Well, we call it nested if inside another if. Hello everyone, welcome to the Python session on nested if. Before we write any code, let's try to understand the problem where such conditions are required. Suppose the wage and overtime rate of workers varies on his skill set. The average working hours is 8. If he is a skilled worker, then he will get a wage of rupees 100 per hour and overtime wage of rupees 150 per hour. If he is an unskilled worker, then he will get a wage of rupees 80 per hour and overtime wage of rupees 100 per hour. To develop a program for this, first we will write an input statement to accept the worker type, that is skilled or unskilled, like this. And we will store the input in the worker type variable. Once we have the worker type, we need to understand how many hours the worker has worked. So we will write an input statement to accept the hours works, like this. Now write an if statement to check whether the worker is skilled or unskilled. Here the word skill is in double quotes because it's a string. Then we will write the else part. Once we are sure the worker is skilled, we'll have to know how many hours the worker has worked. So inside the primary condition, we will give an indent and write another condition to check whether he has worked for 8 hours or less, like this. If he has worked less than 8 hours, then no overtime calculation is involved. So the wage will be equal to working hours multiplied by 100, like this. In the else part of the inner condition, we will calculate the overtime wages as well. The formula will be 8 multiplied by 100, then the overtime hours multiplied by the 150. Now come to the else part of the primary condition. Here we will calculate the wage of an unskilled worker. Again, we will check whether he has worked for 8 hours or less, like this. If no overtime, then the formula is simple. Wages equal to hours works multiplied by 80. We will also write an else part over here to calculate the overtime wage of an unskilled worker. The formula will be 8 multiplied by 80. Then overtime hours multiplied by 100. Finally, print the wages like this. Let's run the code. Enter the worker type as skilled and working hours as 8. We got the correct output, that is 800. Rerun the code and enter the type as unskilled and hours as 10. Well, we got this output. Let's try to iterate the program. When you enter the values as unskilled, the program first checks the primary if. Here the result is false and the program goes to the else part. In the else part, program checks for hours. We have entered 10 hours. So this condition is false and the program moves to this else part. In the else part, it calculates wages. I hope you got a little bit understanding of nested if statement. You will get a more detailed understanding of nested if after 1 to more examples. But all that in next session. Thanks for watching.